everybody, and welcome to our first video on the Starting Grid Formula One YouTube channel. My name is Chelsea and I am joined by our co-host and co-creator Loz. And today we're going to be doing a quick video for you, just kind of to give you a bit of an introduction to us, an introduction to the channel and kind of what we're going to be talking about on here. As you probably guessed, it is pretty much all Formula One based. We're just here to give our opinions on everything and sort of, join the conversation when it comes to the topic of Formula One. But like I said, the first thing we're going to do today is we're going to do a quick kind of Q&A session with you, just so we can kind of tell you a bit more about ourselves, just so you know kind of everything about us when it comes to the sport. Now, one of the first questions that we were asked to answer was about our kind of first memories of F1 and how we sort of got into F1. I'm going to try not to waffle because I do that a lot, but my kind of earliest memories of F1 and sort of how I got into the sport originally is that both my parents are massive F1 fans. They are both massive Lewis Hamilton fans, and they always have been. Back before he was winning all the world championships, back when he was a rookie at McLaren, that is kind of where my kind of earliest memories from F1 started. I mean, they obviously loved F1 before that, but, I was still quite young in 2008, that kind of era. So, that's my first earliest memory. I have always kind of been into F1. Like back in 2014, me and my family all went to Spa for the Grand Prix. Again, I wish I took more photos and I wish I could remember it more because I was a little bit younger than I am now. But that kind of, it's always been a part of my life. My dad and my mum have always kind of sat and watched it every Sunday, every weekend. And that's just kind of my earliest memory. I am kind of a lot more into it now than I was. Back in the first lockdown, I did binge watch the whole series of Drive to Survive, which I know it's one of them controversial things that you should take with a little bit of pinch of salt, but that's kind of what reinvigorated my love for the sport, and that's kind of, why I am where I am. Obviously, I've not missed a race since. I'm, always making sure I catch up with everything. And now it's kind of took over my life. So that's my kind of journey when it comes to F1. But yeah, that's pretty much that.
So I'm pretty much the same as Chelsea, to be fair. I grew up with my dad loving Formula One. So my earliest memory is sitting on that settee on a Sunday with him, watching the races. He'd explain all the rules to me, the different drivers, the different teams, everything. Now, I am a little bit older than Chelsea. So I was born the year that Michael Schumacher went to Ferrari. So I grew up from probably the earliest memory of around 6, watching Michael Schumacher and absolutely falling in love with him as a man and as a driver. He was an absolute hero of mine as a child. I'm the same as well in terms of not had the love throughout the whole period, but I have now fallen back in love with the sport. If I'm not available to watch the race live, it's getting recorded, and I will be watching. I'll be turning off all my notifications until I see that race. So I think we're kind of the same. We've loved it from an early age, and that's why we're here today to talk about it, really. So the next question we got, I think this is kind of like the burning question that everyone wants to know, is who our favourite teams are and who our favourite drivers are. Now, I think it's pretty obvious with what me and Chelsea are wearing. It's McLaren. We both do love McLaren, but for me, my favourite driver is the man on the shirt, Lando Norris. Now, I love Lando Norris. He's my favourite driver, and McLaren are my favourite team because they're the British team. I think Zach Brown's done so much for the team recently as well. Now, I'm not kind of biased just to McLaren. I do, want to see other teams do well as well. With Lando, I think my love for him kind of stems from he's quite relatable. He's still young. He's a full-time streamer, part-time driver, which I just love. I just find that hilarious. And I think you can just relate to him. He's just stupid. He's just a stupid guy. So that's why I kind of love him, and that's why I love McLaren. Chelsea, that way.
Yeah, again same as Loz. Obviously, big McLaren fan. Got the McLaren hoodie on at the minute. And again, no guesses for who my favourite driver is. My favourite driver is Daniel Ricciardo. Always has been, always will be. From as long as I can remember being really into the sport, that's always how it has been. He's just, I know Loz has different opinions to me, but I think he's hilarious. I think, honestly, just such a likeable guy. And I remember when my family did go to Spa, he did win, which is funny because all my family went as, Hamilton fans, and I was happy because he won, so that was nice to see, especially, kind of witnessing that in person. So yeah, massive Daniel Ricciardo fan. That's my favourite. I do kind of love a lot of other drivers though. Lando, again, is another big one for me. I think having two of your favourite drivers at your favourite team is great as well. And I'm also a massive George Russell fan. Again, British up and coming driver, love the guy, just dying to see him in that Mercedes seat next year. So yeah, hopefully we can see him winning some races soon, because that, you know, as much as I love Williams, as much as I'm happy for them scoring those points, especially in Hungary last weekend, I want George in a race winning car, and I want to see him on the podium, you know, fighting for them wins. So yeah, they're probably my sort of favourite drivers. I have got soft spots for the drivers as well. I love Seb, Charles, Lewis, because, you know, British driver, done so
Who
much.
doesn't? Well,
exactly. Well, so much for us as, you know, British fans. But yeah, that's kind of my preferred drivers. So one of the next questions that we were asked was about tracks, our kind of favourite, least favourite tracks, what we kind of like seeing come up on the calendar. Now, as far as agreeing with each other goes on the tracks, we really are a big fan of Baku, which kind of does lead me to one of the tracks that we really don't like, which is Monaco. I feel like Monaco, as much as it's nice with all the money and all the flashiness and everything, you know, it's one that I would love to go to personally, but not one that I'm excited about watching on the TV. It is just a bit of a procession, which I think kind of gives street circuits a bad name. But obviously, Baku is an absolutely brilliant circuit, always has some good races on it. Obviously, the one that you know just happened recently was a brilliant example of that. So we're both kind of in agreement about, you know, Baku and not really liking Monaco. Silverstone we both agree on as well, because home GP, you know, like it's just one of them tracks that it's not, you know, it's a good track, and again, being British and having that home Grand Prix again is brilliant. And I think personally for me, my favorite track is Spa. Always have loved Spa. Just again, another one of my favorite tracks. I've been to it, and it's just quite, you know, always brings some good racing whenever it's coming up on the calendar. I'm always really looking forward to it. I also really love Montreal as well. So again, really, really good track to watch. Another one that I'm not a big fan of is Barcelona. Again, I think it's just a little bit, obviously it's quite hard to overtake on there. And again, it doesn't tend to kind of give the best race, and it is usually your standard sort of finishing order that you'd expect, unless something does happen in the race. So again, that's another one that I'm not really the biggest fan of. But yeah, that's kind of my take on that.
See, I think with me, obviously, like we say, we agree on pretty much all of them, to be fair, but there's something I have a soft spot for Imola. When I saw it back on that calendar, I got excited. Now, it's not, people kind of say it's not for the modern car, but I kind of disagree. I think it's one you can, it's just good to see on the calendar. It's, you know, it's a great track in my opinion. But yeah, my least favorite, as we've said, is the Monaco. I like looking how the other half live, but it's just it's a drawn out, long, boring race for me. So we want to kind of talk about a bit of our favorite moments or most memorable moments in the sport. Now, one of mine, I was only 2 years old when this happened, so don't get me wrong. I'm not saying I watched this live and I remember it, because 2-year-old me is not remembering it. But as I say, my dad was a massive F1 fan, so he brought me up showing me videos and telling me about, you know, past drivers that I would never have experienced. One memory that sticks in my mind is Belgium 1998. The pile-up, just unbelievable. I'll never get that image out of my head. The water, the debris, everything. It's just a crazy memory that I got my sister into Formula One, and that was one of the first things I told her about. Second one for me has got to be Lando's first podium. Pretty sure I was hungover and I cried because I just felt so proud. It was a really proud moment, and it's something I'll never forget. I think I had a picture of where he was like 3 as my wallpaper for a very long time. And then I think for me, the last one has got to be Gasly's win. That podium altogether was just a crazy podium, and I think it was kind of a look into the future. We're now seeing more and more different podiums, different drivers on that podium, younger drivers, things like that. I think there's a crazy stat that like half of the track now have had first podium places. Only 3 have not got first, which is just a crazy stat. And I think that's just showing the way the sport's going, and these young drivers are up and coming and really making themselves known on the track. So it's just exciting to see. I think some of the favorite moments are now making for just amazing future in the sport. What's yours, Chelsea?
So obviously I agree, they're all great moments. Again, I remember being shown the whole Spa thing, and I remember seeing, you know, all the Gaslit win. They're all, you know, brilliant sort of moments. For me, probably my favorite moment is Daniel Ricciardo's redemption day at Monaco 2018. Obviously, you know how his race in 2016 got completely messed up with a bad pit stop, and then to come back 2 years later and just win the race like that was obviously a great moment for a Daniel fan. So that's got to be up there for me. Another one has got to be Jenson Button winning the World Championship with Brawn. I think the more you think about and more look into the whole Brawn season, it's just crazy. Like, you just don't feel like you could ever see anything like that happening again. Like, and obviously, again, British driver, Jenson was another one growing up that my parents were massive fans of, especially knowing Jenson and Lewis were teammates at McLaren. So again, that's another kind of great memory that sticks in my head. And again, agreeing kind of with the Gasly one. Another one is Leclerc's win at Monza. Again, really, really great drive from him as well. And I think we all sort of know that he could be a future world champion easily. Like, he's a brilliant driver. And with the car behind him, 100%, you know, it was nice to see kind of a look into the future. But yeah, that's kind of a few memories that I kind of stick in my head the most. But, you know, there are quite a few ups and downs being an F1 fan. But yeah, that's kind of my main sort of ones.
I think, can we agree one of our biggest down moments was George Russell in that Mercedes car?
Don't even want to think about that. The year 2020, honestly, I was going to watch the race back the other day, and I just don't think I can put myself through that pain. Like, especially when he started to get back up the field and then got the puncture, and oh, my heart shattered.
I think every F1 fan's heart shattered that day. Whether you're a George Russell fan, a Williams fan, anyone watching that race was a heartbreaker.
The fact that he drove so much better than Bottas as well, so much better. Like, he deserved so much more from that race. And obviously, it was nice to see him get his first points. Like, obviously, you know, at least he finished in the points. But like, that could have been a podium or even a win. And just,
we didn't get it.
Bad times.
We did not get it. Hopefully, as we were saying, he'll be at Mercedes next year, and we can see what he can really do. Because I think it says a lot about George and his driving ability this season and last. The way that Williams is a tin can. It's absolutely. You'd think it was impossible to do what George is doing in that car. So you've got to give him all the credit, the way he's pushing that car to its best performance, and it's absolutely unbelievable to see. And at such a young age as well. It's like class.
Honestly, George in that Mercedes next year versus Max and the Red Bull, that could be a fight. But you know, I'm down
I think the three we're going to see, and this is no bias, I really think it's going to be Max, Russell, and Lando. I think they're going to be the three.
Max, Russell, Lando, and Charles in a four-way fight, 4 different teams. That would be.
I really hope Charles does it. Because my God, I rate him so highly. I think he's absolutely incredible driver. I'm just scared. I don't want to get my hopes up with him. I feel like he's going to be being a Charles Leclerc fan is stressful. It's stressful. When he nearly gets it good, and then it doesn't happen. So hopefully we can see some great fights in the future for them four.
Definitely. So that's going to round off the questions that we're answering today. Hopefully they did help you find out a little bit more about us and kind of what we like and everything as far as F1 goes. On the channel, we are going to be doing some kind of fun games, kind of race reviews, previews of things, maybe just kind of, everything about the F1 season. Obviously we have a bit of summer break now, so we can have a good think about things to film and obviously film some videos and get them up for you. If you do have any suggestions or anything like that you would like to see from the channel, then please don't hesitate to leave them in the comments below, and we can obviously look into doing them for you. because we just want to make this channel kind of as fun as interactive as we can, while still obviously focusing on, you know, the whole theme of Formula One. But that's kind of everything that we have for you today, just so we don't bore you too much. We will be back with some more fun and exciting videos kind of in the future. But all that's left to do really now is kind of, you know, let us know where you can follow us on any socials. So Loz, if you want to go ahead.
Yeah, so mine is literally just down below here for all platforms. So it's at Lauren Page Souls. So that's the same for Twitter, Instagram. Get me on there and you'll see more than F1 on there as well. But there is a lot of F1.
And then as far as I go, I kind of have two Twitter accounts. I have a Formula One Twitter and a football Twitter. If you want to follow me on the Formula One Twitter, which would make more sense, it is just at Formula Chels. My other Twitter is Chel UTD. Me and Loz are both United fans. So if you are,
as you can see here,
mine's over there. We're both United fans. So if you do want to see any football takes or anything, that, I mean, obviously you'll get them on Loz's Twitter, but you'll get them on my other Twitter. But like I said, mainly F1 is just at Formula Chels, and yeah, you'll see some exciting stuff on there. But we also are going to be making social media accounts for the YouTube channel as well. I will put them in the comments or the description down below, so you can follow us on there as well. And we'll kind of keep you updated with new videos and stuff. But yeah, that's pretty much everything. So thank you for watching today. We hope you found this video kind of entertaining, and we hope you're looking forward to what's next. And we will see you in the next one. Bye.
Ciao.